Both teams fighting for playoff position. Rogue trying to get out of the bottom of the barrel of the RLCS. And if they can take down the Knights, they do have a chance to crawl out of that into the 6th spot, but it's definitely going to be tough. The Knights appear to be getting better, James.
It's going to be a battle because, like you said, Jorby, the Knights are getting better. AJ is fitting in. Reddles is playing very well. The Knights, the longer the season goes on, you're seeing them pick up the momentum, figuring things out. Because when AJ first came onto the roster, you could tell in those first weeks that they were still trying to find their way, find their path. But things are looking a little bit better. But we've seen the Knights be up. We've seen them be down. We wonder which version we're going to get. Rogue, on the other hand, it's been pretty one-sided. It's been a down season for them. They're down near the bottom of the standings. They're trying to fight out of relegation territory in addition to trying to make it into that top 7. At least that 7th place spot will guarantee that you make it back next season. If you finish in the 8th and 9th spot, you're going to have to go to the promotion tournament, and that is not where Rogue wants to be. They're also in danger of finishing 10th if they continue to lose series. So this is a very important series, a critical series. And on top of that, it's against their old teammate, AJ. So this is going to be a fun match to watch.
It really will be. And Rogue, to their credit, while they weren't able to win their game on Saturday, they certainly looked a little better. So maybe there was something to build for Rogue there on Saturday coming into this series. But with the Knights starting to really rev up like they are, you're at a tough test after tough test for Rogue. And I'm looking at First Killer and Wonder. How do they fit in this rotation? First Killer's had a couple of standout moments, and Wonder, we've talked about his inconsistencies this season, where he looks really good on offense. On defense, sometimes it's looking a little sketchy. So either he goes out of position or it's just a mistouch. So if Wonder can clean up the defense a little bit more, like he was able to in the second half of their series on Saturday, then Rogue might have a chance.
They might, but the defense, like you said, is going to have to get buttoned up. There was one particularly egregious play where Wonder side flipped when he was the last one back. But on offense, he has been good, scoring about 40% of Rogue's goals. So if Wonder, like you said, if he can figure it out, this Rogue team really does have a chance to take down the Knights.
Well, First Killer picking this up off his back wall, and he wins the challenge. He'll be out of the play as Kronovi flips it over Reddles. Rogue looking here on offense, but the Knights, this quick short passing in midfield. Wonder came in and intercepted. But for the Knights, we definitely have seen a little bit more passing out of them, less of this solo air dribbling that they were doing early in the season. And you definitely need to see that team play, especially with AJ starting to really come into his own. Gyro picking up the demo on Crow, and that's actually was going to be my next point, is maybe once they start feeling more comfortable, we'll see Gyro and Reddles go back to that demo game that they love so much.
We haven't seen it yet. It's tough to think we'll see it again. But Reddles, regardless of whether he's going for demos or not, will be upfield. He loves to be upfield, loves to go for the boost steals. And we'll see if his aggression surfaces early in game 1. Right now, both teams kind of trading possession, feeling each other out.
First Killer had a couple of nice touches, but AJ will take it away. Had the flip reset to keep it going off the back wall, just nothing really able to materialize. But that's kind of the danger with AJ. Even when he is air dribbling, he's so good in the air, creating chances himself. But the Knights have midfield. Here's Gyro. He'll pop this up on the air dribble, met by Crow on the ceiling. Wonder took AJ out on the play, was going to be next in line, but First Killer will boom it back downfield here for Rogue. And it continues, James. This first 2 minutes, Reddles will get this clear out to the side. First Killer, shot on, but saved by Gyro. Oh, and he came back down and stole it.
And that was just the second shot of the game. Rogue getting both of them. We haven't seen many threatening chances. Crow going airborne, has to bail out because he didn't have the boost for it. That shot from Wonder going to be nowhere close. AJ's racing to this one.
Oh, and he blocks the shot from his teammate, and now Wonder's got a free goal! Oh, no! And Wonder says, oh yes, Rogue have the lead.
AJ was floating through the air. He had no boost. He couldn't really get out of the way. That is unfortunate. And a strange goal. You don't see too many of those, Jorby.
You definitely don't. But, you know, they set the house on it and certainly weren't expecting AJ to come down and block that shot. Because if AJ doesn't, then Gyro, he definitely has the angle on the net, and the position doesn't matter at that point.
We've seen that a couple times, Jorby, where a player who's low on boost will go for the center ball, and they get a good center, but their momentum carries them into the middle of the field, and they end up getting in the way of the shot. You have to see that coming. And it was a tough break for the Knights because they were starting to get some pressure, and then after that play, the bounce wasn't good, and it was a wide open net.
Well, I mean, right now, we're looking at Rogue with 4 shots and the Knights with 1. And that's, I believe, Wonder's 3rd demo. So Rogue getting really physical. First killer got chipped, but he'll put this in it. First killer puts the 2nd in for Rogue.
I love this from First Killer. A quick turn. Gyro tried, it looked like Gyro wanted to jump for the bump on First Killer, but First Killer just lets him go by, waits for the ball, and takes it himself. A great vision play from First Killer. And that gets Rogue their 2nd goal, a very important one. A side flip from First Killer, however, and that's going to hurt him. So after getting the goal, First Killer makes a mechanical mistake, and Gyro gets the goal right over it.
And a nice touch from Gyro. But like you said, that side flip from First Killer puts him right back in the game. And unfortunately for Rogue, you put in one goal that, you know, you got as a freebie, and then that 2nd goal you created out of your own, and you still only have a 1-goal advantage. Kronovi shot blocked by Gyro up off the ceiling. Reynolds has the next touch. AJ trying to chase it down with no boost. First Killer has lead on the ball. He saw Wonder downfield. He's got him. Crow's there. Crow has a goal, and that's a 3 points for Rogue.
Gorgeous play. Wonder is deep in enemy territory, and First Killer throws it all the way up to him using Wonder as the backboard. Wonder drops it down for Kronovi. Everyone from Rogue playing a key part in that goal, and now we see a fake kickoff from the Knights.
Oh, and good job by Wonder to hop in front of that challenge on AJ. If AJ gets lead on that ball, he had a man ready to hop downfield. I believe it was a Gyro. And a minute left, and Rogue, despite the 1 mistake from First Killer, they've controlled this game, James. Still only 3 shots on net for the Knights, 8 for Rogue.
And AJ down there at the bottom of the score sheet, 0 goals, 0 saves, 0 assists, 0 shots. A rough game 1 for him, and he's playing his old squad, so you know that emotions are going to be running high in this matchup.
And the season's not exactly over for Rogue. You're trying to find that 7th spot, but if they could take the Knights down, now you're talking about the 6th place spot being open for Rogue. And if they find headway here, as it looks like they're going to take game 1 from the Knights, then Rogue might have potential to salvage their season after what's been really just a disappointing performance overall. But all 3 players, First Killer, Wonder, and Kronovi, all a goal apiece, 2 assists for Wonder, and an excellent first game from Rogue.
Indeed it was. The question is, can Rogue keep performing like this? They shut down the Knights. The Knights couldn't really get anything going on offense. We saw the one time where they did get a good look. AJ blocked it. And then we saw Rogue take it the full distance of the field. The other time, Gyro scored on a double tap that was a nice double tap. It was unassisted, but it was due to First Killer side flipping. But for Rogue, you feel good for Rogue if you're a Rogue fan, because they're utilizing each other. They used every member on the team to get that 3-person passing play, and it was a bold play. First Killer booming that up to Wonder, who dropped it down to Crow. You know that they called it out, because normally Wonder is going to be rotating back in that situation, but they saw the play, they took the chance, and they made it happen. So Rogue getting the win in game 1, and Knights stale, especially AJ, still finishing it out with goose eggs across the board.
Yeah, I mean, they're laying a bunch of them. For the Knights, a lot of times they were feeling so much pressure from Rogue that you started seeing them go back to what we saw at the beginning of the season. It's a air dribble across the field, maybe from AJ or Gyro, and they can't get anything done. They have to retreat, and they weren't winning midfield. They weren't getting the job done. They weren't able to have possession at all. It took them 3 minutes to get more than 1 shot on net. So They have to figure this out. They got to stop this Rogue rotation because Rogue are very aggressive off the midfield line and winning these challenges like above the third. So Knights, you got to be stunned after that first game. You probably come in feeling really good about how you're playing. And for Rogue to do this to you, it's going to take a little bit of mental fortitude for the Knights, because here come Rogue. That shot just wide for First Killer. Kronovi tried to kill it out to the side.
And then Rogue already getting aggressive. We're seeing passing plays. First Killer leading this attack, going for the dunk. Rogue keeping the Knights back in their own half. The Knights have struggled in a few series this season with getting any sort of boost game going, which is not something you really see from the Knights. Normally you see Rebels out in enemy territory grabbing boost, but this season it's been a different story.
Yeah, and I mean, you see Rogue are just all over this ball. Kronovi actually missed that, so AJ will be able to carry this, but even when he does, First Killer's there to just take the ball away, and you see the rest of the Knights, they're sitting in midfield, they have to play reactionary. Reynolds, that touch got a little away from him, and he almost got the goal. Another shot, it's denied, but it's a double commit. First Killer credit on the save. AJ gets bumped away off the ceiling. Can he get back to it? He flips into it.
Another double commit from Rogue, but you have to give credit to Reynolds. That was a solo situation, and he put the Rogue defense into a panic, got a rebound opportunity for Gyro. Gyro couldn't slide it past the defense, but there were 3 defenders in net. It would have had to have been a perfect shot. And Knights get a quality look early on, and that's promising for Knights.
It's AJ on point, but Wonder will take the ball away. Oh, Wonder just hops right in front. These challenges are really difficult for the Knights. You can tell their positioning just not ready for it. Whether it is in, oh, Kronovi will put it in off of the pass from Wonder. Or not Wonder, First Killer.
First Killer gets the double tap. It's close enough to make Reynolds lead. He lurks back towards net, thinking that he might have to maybe save a shot coming in from First Killer. But First Killer, it's off the perfect spot of the backboard. You make the defense commit to going for a save, and then when it bounces, it's going to be a great pass for your teammate in the middle. Kronovi was ready and waiting. Rogue, they're sparing no punches.
Oh, First Killer picks up that demo, and in the corner, Wonder was just preventing the Knights from getting out of their own corner. They stole the boost away. Reynolds has the catch on the back wall, but Kronovi's harassing him as well. Here's First Killer on the rotation. Wonder, quick turn. Does he have the shot? He was looking for the pass. First Killer takes the demo. Reynolds will have the clear for now, but First Killer still's got the ball. First Killer across the box. Wonder tries to get it, and that's a huge relief for the Knights, who are feeling it from Rogue. AJ, air dribble off the backboard. No shot as it's taken away by First Killer. So despite Rogue having a huge chance, the Knights come right back, and Reynolds will pick up the goal.
And this is a textbook give and go. Reynolds to Gyro. Reynolds jumps immediately. It was the perfect pass from Gyro. That is how you do it. Can't look any cleaner than that.
And it looked like Rogue were going to get out of that defensive mishap, but Gyro stealing that ball, getting it out to Reynolds. The Knights trying to fight back in this series. And despite Rogue's control, the goals have been close. It's only been a 1-goal game for most of the series. Kronovi staying low on that ball. He'll have to retreat. Wonder had to buy some time for his team. Couldn't find the touch, but Kronovi in front of Reynolds. First Killer having to avoid a bump. And now coming up, has the challenge, but Reynolds wins this. Now the Knights are starting to win some 50-50s, and Reynolds puts his second in.
The Knights come roaring back. Gyro with the challenge. Reynolds comes in and pokes it by the defense, and then Kronovi misses the challenge, leaving Reynolds with an open net. And Reynolds gets his second. He has been the saving grace for the Knights. 2 goals, sitting at over 400 points this game. Doing work.
Oh, and Wonder will put this in. No one from the Knights was able to pick up this rebound. And James, I was about to say, this could be where it gets dangerous for Rogue, because they're known to let games get away from them on defense once the team starts getting their gears going.
And AJ, he was on the sidewall, Jorby, and he backflipped. If he keeps going, he probably saves that shot from Wonder. They let Rogue back into it right off the kickoff.
Much needed stabilization for Rogue. Wonder on point. Kronovi behind him. They'll have to get this read from Gyro. He's got nothing in the tank left. It'll be kicked back over to AJ. First Killer's been so quick up to these balls, trying to delay the transition from the Knights in midfield, and really that's been part of what's been harming the Knights, is just his ability to get up to some of these balls. He's not the only one, but I see his name more often than not stopping the ball in midfield. He misses this, and it's a shot, and it will go in off the miss from First Killer, so AJ gets the lead back for the Knights.
And this is a huge play. First Killer, he got a touch, but it went backwards. He was even spinning on his way up. Perhaps he just tried to be a little too fancy there.
I mean, it's just these chances for Rogue, when they do get the equalizer, now they can't hang on to a lead in game 2. And now you're forced back with 40 seconds left, having to score another goal. And it feels like the Knights are getting harder and harder to crack. Yeah.
The Knights are, and AJ making a save. Perhaps this will be an opening for Rogue as we are in the final 30 seconds of the game. But we've seen a few missed touches from Rogue on the defensive end. And this is a close game. Those mistakes will cost you, and those mistakes can cost you series.
And it's cost Rogue series this season multiple times. We've seen this same Rogue team. Kronovi, he doesn't have any boost. He won't be able to find it. But we've seen this Rogue team look good, so good at times. And then it's just those defensive mistouches, those mistakes, James, that kills them. And that's what gives them all of these losses. Do they have a chance? Wonder, it's a high ball. Gyro's already up for it. Wonder does keep it in the air, but it will drop. And the Knights, despite a back and forth, they come out alive in game 2.
And for the Knights, what you love to see is AJ getting the game-winning goal. That's going to be huge for him, getting involved in the offense. We've already seen Reddles and Gyro synergizing well together, but now AJ getting a piece of the pie, and it couldn't have come at a better time. In a one-goal game, that go-ahead goal is going to put AJ in the right mindset.
And typically, you know, we harp on Wonder for some of the defensive mishaps he's had this season, but in this game, it was First Killer. First Killer had that huge whiff on the defensive end, and then the whiff earlier that led to a goal. So two defensive miscues for Rogue immediately led to goals. And if they just make that touch, James, it's a 2-1 game, and we're talking about Rogue with a 2-0 series lead.
But that's not how the cookie crumbled. And Knights they've got their foot in the door now. And Rogue, they're playing the Knights closely. This is two well-matched teams. But what we're seeing is more Rogue defensive mistakes, struggles. You know, they're tough touches, but they're touches that at this level you expect them to make. And unfortunately for Rogue, they weren't doing it, and they lost that close game. So we'll see how game 3 pans out. This is a momentum game, a swing game. And Rogue, they've been having a tough season. So if they lose this one, it's going to put them in a tough spot, Jorby. I think Rogue, they really need this one. Knights, I think, is a team that can bounce back from playing from behind. We've seen them do it before, but I don't feel so much the same about Rogue.
Yeah, I mean, for the Knights, with a win under their belt, expect that aggressive play from Reddles, who with confidence, Reddles is one of the best players this season in the RLCS. I mean, every single week we see this guy play. He is all over the pitch, even in losses. There's so many times you're watching Reddles play and you're like, man, this guy is all over the place. How about the pass from AJ, but then the miss, and Reddles will convert. The Knights have the lead.
It was on cue, Jorby. You're talking about Reddles and his speed. He looks for this rebound, comes in, and hammers that ball to the far post, 71 miles an hour, taking nothing for granted. And Reddles continues his scoring spree. He has been really the leader on the Knights in terms of offense.
And how AJ has started to fit into this rotation is exactly where you saw him, as the first man, setting up the entire play. He gets that air dribble, he wins the 50 for Gyro. Gyro sets up Reddles perfectly, And so this is what we saw on Saturday from the Knights. This is why we were feeling so much more confident about the Knights' play, because it feels like a full team with AJ in there now. It feels like they're finally working those kinks out. It was a little rough in game one, but right now they're in the driver's seat. So Kronovi in front of AJ. That'd be First Killer's ball. He has a shot, gyro. Able to pump it out to the corner. AJ will continue it. Reynolds wins. Huge challenge in midfield. He'll steal the boost away as well. And that will be, well, that'll be tough for Wonder, who has to walk around on small pads now. Getting bumped out of the way was First Killer. A roller of a shot, and it looked way more dangerous than you think it should have. But Rogue are feeling the pressure right now from the Knights.
And low on boost, Pro, that's all he's got. He can't go for the double tap because he didn't have enough boost in the tank. Now, on the other end, numbers advantage for the Knights.
Reynolds hopped up on it, but it's taken away by First Killer. And it looked like Gyro was trying to avoid Wonder. And he actually picks up the save. Another demo on Wonder. Kronovi had pitched that off the ramp looking for Wonder. Here the flip off for AJ. The shot is good. Reynolds puts another in. It's AJ to Reynolds. The connection is solid.
AJ, he started that bounce air dribble play with full boost. You know he's going to do some damage. Baits out the double commit, gets the flip reset, and simply has to pass it off the backboard to a waiting Reynolds, who has been sinking those shots all week, all season. And the Knights continue to pummel Rogue in this game. They have right now out shooting them 4-2 and really getting all these chances. Rogue has been struggling to get anything going on the offensive end ever since losing the last game.
And they're losing this boost game that they were winning in game one. That was the difference maker, because you saw the Knights, they felt desperate in game one to relieve pressure. But now Reynolds, he's finding those boost pads in the attacking half. AJ, he's setting up plays for his team, and the Knights have been really successful on it. Gyro back over.
He was looking for a flick there and didn't connect, and now it's going to be dangerous. A huge save from First Killer. Gyro was looking to clip on him.
I mean, Gyro has been... Gyro hit the double tap earlier, then he's had a couple of really nice saves too. From
and even his flip reset shot, Gyro has been a highlight machine.
And it's fun to watch Gyro develop, because last season you felt some of his goals that he was getting, it was kind of like he was scoring some turbo-like goals last season, but he's certainly finding more consistency in those mechanics this season.
And you expect that out of the younger players, Jorby, the players who haven't had as much time playing at the high level. The more practice they get, because I mean, once you make it to the pro level, you're pretty much exclusively playing pro teams. So you will just continue to grow your ability. And that's exactly what we've seen from players like Gyro. But the Knights, their overall season hasn't been as good as last season after the roster change. They're still looking to make things work, but it's looking good right now just because of how good Reynolds has been, in my opinion.
I totally agree. Reynolds has 2 goals in this game. He picked up the game winner in the last. AJ up high again, or excuse me, Reynolds had 1, but the game winner belonged to AJ. Either way, Wonder and Kronovi.
You have to give AJ credit as well. That flip reset shot was huge. And now an opportunity, open net for Gyro, and he'll sink that one in. 3-0, 25 seconds left. The Knights secure this game.
And First Killer needed to find a way to get that ball out to the corner, and he couldn't get the touch out. It was a bouncer right in front of the box. Gyro easily able to punish that, and it was off of a really good pass from Reynolds. He popped it off his car off the sidewall, and this has just been a dominant Knights performance, and probably what we expected heading into this series. Kronovi and First Killer looking for some token goal. They feel good heading into game 4. They did win the first game in this set. It is not impossible. The blueprint is there for Rogue. It's just they can't seem to put it together consistently. Will they put one in? First Killer will get a goal at the end of game number 3, but it's the Knights who take series advantage, James.
They take it, and this is the only goal that Rogue got, coming at 0 seconds when it doesn't really mean anything. So even though they get one on the board, it's not going to have as much of an effect mentally as a goal that comes in a more critical time of the game. You know that Rogues, their offense is feeling run out right now. They can't figure out how to beat this Knights defense, which has been rock solid. And the Knights, on the other hand, have gotten everyone involved in the play. AJ, that flip reset pass, Gyro making plays on his own, and then Reddles finishing off these opportunities. The Knights, they're going full speed at the moment.
Yeah, and Rogue, as soon as they do get on the offense, they don't have any boost to do anything. There was a couple, botched pass attempts where a teammate is hoping that a player is there, that a teammate is there, but then they retreated after they had dumped the ball out because they had to go get boost. So the Knights just doing well in pitch control, and James, as you were alluding to, just this aggressive play style where winning these 50s in front and forcing Rogue to be flat-footed on defense. There was that Gyro attempted double touch where First Killer, he could only dump the ball out right in front of him, and it was still dangerous. There was the attempted save he had off of the Reddles pop in front of the backboard. I mean, Rogue is just struggling to get possession of the ball at all.
They are, and they're going to have to figure it out because this is it for them. It's game point. It's match point. So it's now or never. Rogue has to find that offense that they found in game one. We've seen that they have it in them. They had the passing play, even from First Killer back to Wonder, who dropped it down to Kronovi. They have the tools, but they have to use them now.
Maybe Rogue can find some of that game one magic. But already the Knights off the kickoff are on offense. Oh, just in front. It's so tough to break out of your half when the attacker just comes up and wins a 50 like that. And finally, Kronovi will get out, but he's only got 27 boosts. What's he going to do? Gyro throws the ball away from him. Another long clear. First Killer will pick up the midfield boost. Try to retain possession, but he used everything just to keep the ball in midfield. A Wonder has to try to kill this ball. It's Reddles. Flipping up on the short hop air dribble. Reddles almost makes it, and Gyro will convert. The Knights in the lead yet again.
Even though Reddles doesn't get credit for this goal, look at this play. Takes First Killer out. Completely paves the way for Gyro to get a free goal. Reddles, that was something else.
Again, Reddles he contributes in every phase of the game, and he creates opportunities for his team, and he scores when AJ's creating opportunities for him, or when Gyro's throwing a pass to him. But the Knights, after that first game, they're in form. The Rogue, the struggles continue. Kronovi here in midfield has a shot, but Reddles followed him the whole way. Very patient for the Knights on defense. High ball for First Killer. He grabs this. And Wonder, that touch is just going to be buying time for Rogue to retreat. And they're struggling to find a spot where they can get a good clear. First Killer did well enough to follow. And now Wonder winning the 50. But again, there's just... Crow has to sit back and wait as the Knights just pass it along midfield. And midfield belongs to Pittsburgh right now.
We saw First Killer trying to pass to Wonder, and it was shut down. And now the shot coming out from Gyro. This is a good counterattack opportunity. Good midfield pass to First Killer, and a deny by AJ. Huge save.
And another good clear and a great follow-up from Reynolds. Reynolds followed that whole play beautifully. He knew exactly how the flow was going, knew exactly where he needed to be, and it put him in the best spot to win that 50 in midfield. It's part of just what makes him so deadly. He's such a smart player. Picks and chooses his battles. And sometimes will just get in your face and take you out of the play if nothing else is available. Kronovi on the attempted catch. The 50 will be out to the corner, but Wonder, Rogue are just forced to win 50-50s for every touch. They're winning a couple here, but for how long? They're struggling corner to corner here in Knights territory. And here's Reynolds. Reynolds wins a clean ball, forcing Wonder back. He does have the save.
Good touch from Crow, and a demo is going to leave the net potentially vulnerable. Another 50. Wonder follows up that chance. So Rogue showing some life still, or life yet left in him.
Another attempted carry by Crow. It's a good flick, but First Killer, it just looked like he botched his launch in midfield on that. And then even when you think you have a chance, AJ just takes you out of the play. And here's Gyro trying to take that one off the back wall, but First Killer was there. Reynolds has to jump back quickly for a save. The Knights back. AJ, woo, Gyro actually got in front of AJ for that save. Another shot for Kronovi, and it's in! Kronovi will tie the game for Rogue.
And a good pass from Wonder off the backboard as well. Getting to that ball first, floating it up. Gyro was on empty. Couldn't make the save. AJ also on empty. Kronovi's placement was enough.
I felt like Gyro probably jumped a little too early. AJ was in position to make the initial save, and Gyro could have conserved his boost and got that second touch before Wonder could make the pass happen. But the Knights just want to eliminate that mistake, but they missed the goal. Kronovi getting harassed by Reynolds, and Reynolds will pick this next ball up, boom it downfield. Wonder. Blocked by AJ. Kronovi back over to Wonder. First Killer next up. And Gyro will throw the ball up downfield. And he follows up his own touch to win in midfield.
And that was an interesting play because Wonder had First Killer in the middle and he tried to go for the backboard pass, which was covered.
Oh, AJ getting bumped out of this, and he's got no boost to follow it up. And Reynolds just getting in First Killer's way. Makes it a little more difficult. Does he have another chance at the ball? A very haphazard defense from Knights. The last few possessions for Rogue on defense, Knights have been jumping at the ball, diving, very acrobatic and panicky. And now in front of the box, Rogue are threatening, but just cannot find the net despite all of this pressure, despite Knights jumping at the ball, almost triple committing at times. Rogue still can't find the leading goal. Another chance right in front of the box, but First Killer and Kronovi are far back. Wonder will take the boost away. First Killer setting up Kronovi. Reynolds in front, Kronovi's shot no good. AJ pulls it out to the side, and for the Knights, one more goal will win the series.
See if they can pull it out, or if Rogue can reach deep, find what it takes to get this win and force Game 5. Double commit. Wonder's low on boost. Reynolds is going to slow it down. This is a bad situation, but First Killer helps him out.
Yeah, that was such a great play from First Killer, bumping Reynolds out of the way. Otherwise, it for sure would have been a goal. Wonder had a couple of boosts, but now Rogue forced to play against the Knights in their own half again. Gyro couldn't handle it, but AJ is right behind him. Wonder has no boost again. Reynolds trying to keep it away. Rogue feeling pressure from the Knights, but they hang on. First Killer, no boost. Back over to Wonder. Wonder slowed it down in front of the box, and it goes under! And Wonder keeps Rogue in the series!
The Wonder undershot. First Killer had no boost, so that's the only challenge he could do. And you could see him just playing the defender. Was that AJ in net?
It was AJ.
Wonder getting the best of AJ in that exchange, and we're going to Game 5.
Well, that has to feel great after really, again, it felt like near the end of regulation, James, that the Knights, they just started jumping at everything. They were in low boost situation. They were just trying to find a desperation clear so they could get down, get more boost. Gyro specifically, I think, was really feeling panicked on defense. He has to, I think, just chill out a little bit. He was hopping at a couple of things. He had, in my estimation, had screwed AJ out of a couple of saves and maybe a couple opportunities on transition.
It's just about being patient, being calm on defense. We saw them get a little bit scrambly from time to time. And AJ, again, I think this was a rough game from him overall. Reynolds and Gyro, they were the ones who worked together to get the single goal that the Knights put in this game. And Rogue, they never gave up. I think this is a moment for Rogue. This is an opportunity for Rogue to turn their season around with just one game of Rocket League. These next 5 minutes for Rogue and Rogue fans are critically important if Rogue wants to salvage this season. Knights, on the other hand, they want to get more distance between them and the bottom of the standings here in North America.
Yeah, they're currently sitting in the 6th spot at 2-4. A 2-5 record. Oh, you're talking about then the Knights trying to get the 7th spot and avoid that 8th or even 9th spot, depending on how the rest of the season pans out. The Knights definitely want to get back on top and put themselves in playoff conversation. But right now, Rogue, like you said, James, trying to salvage. They came back in game 4. Now, can they complete in game 5? That's a good touch from First Killer. A good save from AJ. Kronovi will keep things locked on the back wall. And now Rogue have control of midfield. First Killer in front, making life difficult for Gyro. And that got punched across from Reddles back over to AJ. And now the Knights, quick progression down the field. First Killer attempted clear, denied. And then he wins this 50, forcing Gyro back, the Knights, to their own back wall.
Well, that double was crazy. First Killer getting some pace on that ball out to the middle. Not much boost for Gyro to deal with. AJ also under half a tank. It's a low boost situation. Gyro's still on the wall. He's not going to be able to do much.
I just feel like Gyro is just feeling a lot of pressure on defense. It feels like he has to be the man to make the play, and you know, your teammates are in position for those. It's okay to slow down a little bit. The game feels a little fast for him right now, and it's good for First Killer. Disaster on defense for the Knights.
And this was AJ. He jumps in front of Gyro, who's going to get this save potentially. It still might have snuck his way in. Gyro, I'm not sure if he even had that angle covered. AJ didn't see him. AJ didn't see him. And it would have been a close call if Gyro would have had that covered. He could have, if he backflipped, potentially got that play. But, you know, it wouldn't have really even mattered because AJ was coming in so hot and skipped that ball into his own net. So a tough play there for AJ and the Knights. We'll see if they can bounce back. Rogue battling from behind in the series, now getting the go-ahead goal. It's looking good for them.
It was right after, you know, just from the criticism that I was given to Gyro for the defense that he had, and then it was AJ getting in Gyro's way this time. So the Knights have to figure this out. The goals have not been aplenty. It was really only game 2 where they were able to score a lot, and even then it was still difficult, and they only really came off of Rogue errors. There were a couple of really nice plays from the Knights, but now they're back on defense. This is high off the ceiling. Reddles, a good touch out to the corner. But look at this, Kronovi just slowing down that counterattack. Gyro, he wins a crucial 50 and another, so it doesn't matter, but you still love that scorched earth policy from Kronovi and how Rogue have been slowing down the Knights transition game.
They're trying to melt this time off the clock, but you still want to get that insurance goal, so you can't let off. You don't want to give space to the Knights to get back into it, but for the Knights, you know, it's been a rough experience for them. Even this only goal of the game came off that deflection from AJ. See if they can bounce back.
Oh, Gyro on the air dribble, but First Killer's there. And on that last goal as well, Kronovi had gotten involved. He stopped Gyro in net on the bump. There's a double tap from AJ. Gyro, it's off the crossbar. Reddles is too far back for anything to happen, so Rogue will get out scot-free.
That was the chance. Gyro had a cleanup opportunity. AJ did a good job to get that double tap pass off the sidewall, but Gyro wasn't able to hit his mark. That was the chance for the Knights to equalize.
Gyro, another high ball. First Killer got right under it, and a massive clear by Wonder forced Reddles up on the save. The Knights flat on the line. Wonder couldn't get back to the ball, and the pass on defense cut off. So aggressive from Rogue. But there was no boost in midfield, and so Wonder was forced back to the corner. That gave the Knights the space to be right here, back on offense. Now Reddles is forced to get back. These are good clears from Rogue, despite some of the transitions from the Knights. Oh, Wonder got chipped out of the way. Kronovi will buy a little bit of time. It's got to be First Killer. AJ squares up. Kronovi forced to make the save. Now Reynolds has to flip back. He's out of boost. Gyro loses the touch. Kronovi back over to Wonder. Hits it up high. It's got to be First Killer. He's there. Round to the corner for Rogue.
That was a great defensive breakout from Kronovi. He backflipped and had to half flip and take that ball up the sidewall before getting the pass off to the middle. Rogue making a defensive stand in these final moments.
High ball again. Gyro off the backboard, but he got bumped, and first killer will have the save. Wonder hits this up high, looking for Kronovi downfield, but Kronovi was in a low boost situation. Now Gyro back over to AJ. A double commit by Rogue, but it's a good enough clear for now. Gyro back over to Reynolds. Last chance for the Knights to take it to overtime. First killer taking this away, and Rogue, can they put this ball on the ground? Can they finish? They do! Rogue upset the Knights, and they stay alive this season for the playoffs.